Welcome to the very first episode of the Outer Rim Rookie audio podcast. I was going back through some of my old files and just kind of cleaning them up and storing them all in one separate hard drive. And I noticed that a lot of my old episodes or old podcasts about when I started this journey of becoming a member of the 501st and Outer Rim Garrison, they were kind of lost on Apple because they only show the last 100 episodes or so. And when you've been writing a podcast for 6 years and you're already on episode 277, the old stuff just kind of gets lost unless you have an alternate app to listen to podcasts, which again, it's still out there, but it's harder to find. So I decided why not put this on YouTube for those who kind of want to see how this journey started and kind of learn from my mistakes, I guess. For the next little while, over the maybe once a week or so, if I can try and find that time, I'm going to put an old episode that you can find on audio. So over the next little while, I'm going to upload an episode or two, maybe once a week or so on average, and just kind of relive those moments of how I started to discover and learn about the 501st. And they could be the same questions that you may be having if you're one of those people that want to join the 501st. I'll be talking to people like Tim McMahon, who was the host of Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest podcast in the galaxy, who was also a member of the 501st out in the East. I'll be talking to people like Allie Williams, who is not only a good friend of ours now and the wife of my co-host Steve 3, but she was a cosplayer. And we talk about getting over that hump, breaking that sort of the doldrums when building and trying to get over that mindset of just, can I actually do this? I'll be talking to members of the Outer Rim Garrison who have now become dear friends of mine, such as Hosenose, Carl German, and of course my co-hosts Steve 3 and Jamie Millman. We'll be talking about the video Star Warriors, the movie that inspired Jamie and Carl to become 501st members. We'll be talking to people about what it takes to be a handler, what it takes to become a member, what's your job, what's your duty. There's also going to be some fun episodes as well, such as GXW versus Trivia, where I test my friends' knowledge on the garrisons around North America and around the world. So I hope you enjoy this look back to my journey to becoming a 501st member and a member of the Outer Rim Garrison. Click the links below if you want to find out more information on how to take this journey yourself. So today's episode is the very first audio episode that I recorded way back on February 2nd, 2017. It's we made a video of this. Is from the episode 1 of Fabric Shopping, but I decided to record the road trip on the way up and talk to Katie and talk to Terry about becoming a member, putting your costume together, and what it is I'm getting myself into. As I said, you can check out the video, which is available on our Generation X-Wing podcast YouTube site, which are here right now. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share with any other people who might be interested in taking this journey. So I hope you enjoy episode 1, the introduction. All right, welcome to our very first episode of the Outer Rim Rookie. My name is Rob Williams, and I'm here with one of my co-hosts,
Terry Chui.
Terry Chui, and we have a special guest.
Katie Dueckman.
Katie, you are part of the 501st Outer Rim Garrison, right?
You bet.
And Terry, you are the commanding officer of the 501st Outer Rim Garrison. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
And I am a person trying to get into the Outer Rim Garrison of the 501st. This is the Outer Rim Rookie. The whole point of this podcast is to watch the follies of this dumb person try to get into the 501st with the guidance of very, very talented people. First of all, Terry, being the Outer Rim Garrison, if you haven't heard my podcast of the Generation X-Wing podcast, which is attached to this all, you know where this is coming from. We've had Terry on the show many, many times, and our very first meeting was way back about just over a year ago, where you were basically teaching us about the Outer Rim Garrison. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. I remember we were meeting up, I think, at Neil's house, right?
That's correct.
We opened up the tickle trunk of costumes and
just nerded out.
Got to play dress up and have a good time, nerd it out. Yeah, absolutely.
That was so much fun, and that really started to spark a lot of things for not just me, but also for Neil, Bulent, and Josh at the time. And we just I made a point of saying, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be a part of. I didn't have a date yet, but I really wanted to be part of this group. I discovered you guys at the Fan Expo in Vancouver, and that's where I met Kat. And Kat taught me all about the different things that were involved, and it was overwhelming. And then when you came onto the show and taught us about all the armor and the greeblies and the lingo and the buckets, and it's not a costume and a blaster, not a gun, it's a blaster, and taught me all about that sort of stuff, and it just became more and more just so enticing. And over time, we met with Pale Rider Jamie Millman, who's also one of the co-hosts of the Generation X-Wing podcast. Him being a biker scout, he just talking with him and talking with Steve 15 from Victoria, it just started to really make things click. And then the fateful day you invited me over to the parade, the Canada Day parade last year, to walk with the banner and just kind of get involved with it. And that just said, all right, this is it. We're doing it. My goal.
That was the gateway drug.
That was the gateway. Exactly.
You get your first troop for free, and then,
And Canada Day is always one of the ones where we get people who just are like, yeah, I got to join now. This is it.
Oh, exactly. And once you get right in there, and I have been to a couple of your troops. In fact, one of your troops came to my school to help out one of our students with raising money for the family who's fighting cancer. And so you see all these great things that you guys do. And me being a school teacher, already kind of in connecting with kids and stuff, it was for me a natural transition. So here I am in a car, driving over the Portman Bridge right now, heading to Abbotsford for my second visit of a fabric store. I've never been to a fabric store except for one other time when I was trying to design a costume for King Bob. Have you guys heard of King Bob before? The TV show cartoon show called Recess. He's a character. Oh. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
So he was the king of the playground, and I had to buy fabric to make a cape, and that was it. And my goal was to cut a straight rectangular cape. It took me 3 hours to do, and it actually turned out pretty well. So, and that was my costume. And now I'm going back to a fabric store to get all this stuff. So my first question is for you, Katie. You are you're going to school, are you?
Yeah, I'm going to school at Capilano University for costuming for stage and screen.
Now you have a connection to the show, which I just dawned on me sitting in this car. Who's your connection to the Generation X-Wing show?
Anil was my high school art teacher.
That is so weird. He had told me that he had some friend had a student in the 501st, but I had no idea it was actually you. And you have a number of costumes for the Outer Rim Garrison, don't you?
Yeah, I do Mara Jade, still canon. I do Mon Mothma. I've got a reserve TIE pilot. I do an officer, and I have a few more waiting as fabric piles in my craft room.
But my favorite is your Mon Mothma. That's probably because that's all I've seen you in, but it's just it's perfect. The robes are there, the hair, the style, the poise when you're out there. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
So how long did the Mon Mothma take to build?
Actually, it's probably not only one of my faster costumes, but probably my most comfortable.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's a pillowcase with a hole cut in the center and some little tucks at the shoulder. And the undersuit is just a brown skirt and a brown shirt with the sleeves tacked up.
So how long did it take to make it?
Maybe longer than it should have, let's put it that way. Probably 20 or 30 hours.
That was longer than it should have?
Yeah.
20 or 30 hours?
Yeah.
Oh boy. So how long have you been studying at Capilano?
I'm just finishing my second year, so I'll graduate in 3 months.
And so what's your goal after Capilano?
So everything.
So everything. So what do you mean? Like you want to try movies, stage, anything that they'll offer you?
Kind of, yeah. I would prefer stage, I think, because the costumes tend to be bigger, brighter, bolder, because you have to read from a distance. Whereas film is very detail-oriented. And I couldn't tell you which one in the end I'm probably going to prefer, but I just want to sew things, and as long as they let me do that, I'll be happy.
What's some of your favorite costume designs in movies or stage?
Whoa, that's a tough one.
It is. Let's start an easier question then. When it comes to Star Wars, what is some of your favorite costume designs in Star Wars?
I love the X-Wing pilots.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love that orange. Like, all the other costumes are pretty basic in terms of color, but the X-Wing pilot really punches when it walks onto the screen, even in the background.
Yeah.
Vader's amazing. Black on black on black, and yet so much depth in the costume.
They've changed the costume a number of times, haven't they, over the years?
Yeah.
Every single movie is a different costume.
Every single movie, eh?
Pretty much, yeah. There's a different, something has changed in every one. I saw an image the other day that was just every costume beside each other, and it's minor a lot of the time, but there are differences.
So I guess Padme kind of rubbed off on him after a point.
Yeah, really. Oh, I love her stuff. Oh, different gown every scene. Oh.
Favorite Padme costume?
The lake gown, the rainbow lake gown.
The lake gown, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah. I'm just kind of getting back into the Attack of the Clones, listening to a podcast, Star Wars Minute, and they're going through all the costumes of Padme, and I think they're only about a third of the way in, and they've already hit 7 costumes.
Yeah.
It's every time he turns around. So, and Terry, you've designed a lot of costumes and armor yourself, haven't you?
I have. I've got a bunch of costumes that are 501st Legion costumes, and some that are Rebel Legion costumes, and some that are just other universes, right? So Spider-Man and Marty McFly and this sort of thing. So.
Oh, the Marty McFly was awesome when you came to our show dressed as that.
Yeah, that's right. The Back to the Future podcast.
The board, the hat, everything. That was really cool. Now, right now, what are you looking for today?
We're going to this fabric store. We're supposed to be the biggest fabric store in Western Canada. That's what they tout. And I'm looking for some specific fabrics for my Chirrut Imwe costume from Rogue One.
I saw the sketches, in fact, sitting right here beside me.
They're right
They're
there.
gorgeous. Chirrut Imwe is it's a fantastic costume with lots of different colored robes. It's not like Technicolor Dreamcoat color, but it's stylistic, it's nice.
Yeah, there's Katie and I sat down, we're probably talking a good 45 minutes over almost an hour looking at all the different layers and details, and there's a lot of subtle stuff when you sort of see it in the movie. You're like, oh, he's wearing 2-3 robes and a pair of pants and shoes. He's got a stick and that's it. And it's not. It's like, it's so dense with detail, and that's, if you know me at all, it's like I got to look at all the pictures and gather all the reference and try to break down every piece and just replicate it as best I can. So I've kind of got maybe 40, no more than that, maybe 50 or 60% of the fabric and materials that I need, but I still need a few key pieces. That's what we're looking for today.
So the challenge with the Chirrut Imwe, as well as a lot of 501st members who try to pick these new costumes that are in the movies that have just come out, is trying to gather the resources, the information. How are you able to do that when the movie's still in the theaters?
Sure. I mean, so I think a lot of movie studios now are getting wise and being really, really smart about on social media or promotional events, releasing images, early and kind of staggering them out before a movie's released, right? So, and in particular, when you're dealing with things like Disney or Marvel or Lucasfilm, and they have these events, whether it's San Diego Comic-Con or Star Wars Celebration, they're displaying the costumes, like the original costumes, right there in glass cases, and that gets the fans and fans of the movie excited about it, wanting to go see the movie, and then people take tons of pictures. So I mean, basically, it's a lot of digging and searching online to try and find photographers that have taken really, really good pictures and just documenting and kind of breaking down every piece, because they're not always in the best lit conditions. They're not always the best photos. So, even when I'm looking for one particular part, I might have to go and find like 20, 30 different images. And of the 20 and 30, really only like 3 or 4 are great and usable. So it's just a lot of digging, right? A lot of grinding and digging just to try and mine that gold and find some really good stuff.
How precise do you feel you are in designing your costumes?
Pretty precise. I've gotten pretty...
the eye roll just from Katie.
Yeah, pretty anal retentive. Like trying to track down the exact, cotton weave of the outer skirt, finding one manufacturer in New York that makes it for all of the martial arts uniforms, and it's like, oh, do I have to order it from them, because they're one of the few that makes it. So, I found some fairly close stuff that I can dye and that kind of thing. But, I've always, if I can find the original thing, that's what I'll go for. I know a while ago I was looking for, or I still am looking for some of the little greeblies that are on his belt. And I was, trying to pull, get friends on Facebook to help find this item. And a friend said, oh, why don't you just model it in 3D and print it? And absolutely, I could do that. But if I can find the original piece, I know somewhere out there, it's like some stupid little $10 plastic air freshener, I don't know, air filter or something. It's like, I know I can find it. So, and that's, I enjoy that, the hunt, right? It's the hunt it's really the journey of doing it that I enjoy too.
Are you precise in your searches, Katie?
Not nearly as precise as Terry.
No?
No.
I mean, but Terry's on a whole nother level, really.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. Katie's up there.
I'm pretty bad.
Now, so coming from my angle here, this is the whole point of this podcast is it's a dummy's guide or beginner's guide to getting into the 501st. I'm a person who is at no level talented in putting things together. I can't sew. I can cut things with a scissor. That's nice. But all this other stuff, I don't build anything. I'm not a handyman. I'm very novice when it comes to all this sort of stuff. And this is where I think the point of this podcast came from, because I basically, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And this is going to kind of demonstrate the steps on how to join. So if you're at that stage where you don't know what to do or how to do it, the first thing you got to do is talk to a member of the 501st, wherever garrison or squad or whatever is in your area. You need to talk to them. Don't go through this alone and just kind of hope for the best, because there is a process in joining the 501st, isn't there?
There is. And I think just like you mentioned, one of the benefits of this, not only is this going to benefit you, you're going to be able to join and have a really cool costume, but we really want to work on kind of breaking down that sort of stigma of like, oh, the 501st is very elitist and it's very closed. They've got these very stringent guidelines, and if you don't meet them, you can't do it. But the fact of it is, yes, it is a lot of information. It does take a lot of time, and there is, a cost involved. But it's not impossible, and it's proven itself. I mean, the Legion's got well over 10,000 members and over 70, almost 80 countries worldwide. Yep. And there's people that have had no experience before sewing or cutting or gluing plastic or doing any of these sorts of things, but they've done it. So we want to help facilitate that. So absolutely, for all the people out there that are interested, just like you said, reach out to your local garrison or group and find someone that can help you, because more often than not, they're like us. They love talking about this stuff. We do this all the time when we'll get together for coffee or something, and we'll just sit there for like hours and talk costumes and talk about the movies and talk about this or that. So you're dealing with people that are probably just as passionate as you are or you want to be, and even if you aren't, we're all very keen to help, because at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, right? So if it wasn't fun, we wouldn't be doing it.
Well, we all have different skill sets and different tools. So I may not have a rivet gun, but I know Terry does. So even if you're thinking of joining and you're going, oh, I have to buy a sewing machine, I have to buy a rivet gun, I have to get all these crazy tools to even start, you don't. There are people in the Legion who have these things and have the time and are willing to teach you how to use them. And if you want it after that, then great, go buy it. But, it's a way to meet the people and really get to know the tools in experienced hands.
The Armor Party is also a great place to meet up. I'm assuming Armor Parties happen in most garrisons?
It's not like a required thing. Armor parties are kind of just a fun thing that people do sort of casually or socially. And basically what they are, it's an opportunity for everybody to get together, socialize. They bring projects that they're working on, or sometimes people just come with their tools and supplies, and they're helping out like a new person or recruit who might be wanting to start on a costume, or sometimes they might just want to drop by and go, look, I'm interested in joining, but I really have no idea what to do. It's like, okay, yeah, come and hang out and eat some food and just learn, right?
Yeah.
It's just a great opportunity to kind of get together. And that's the other benefit too. It's not just about joining this organization. It's about, meeting people with that are like-minded and have similar interests. And really, you end up making good friends, right? That's what it's about.
But the major factor in joining the 501st and Outer Rim Garrison is the charity work you guys do as well. And I think that's what else... I think it's fantastic. I think 50% of the fun of it is dressing up in the costume. But for me, 50% is also being able to take this hobby or interest and help others. And that's a big goal of mine as well. It's what I want to teach my son. We need to help others. It's what I want to teach my students. And so it's not just a way to get a picture of other people at a fan expo. And so let's talk about a bit of the charity work that you guys do. What are some of the things that some of the more memorable moments that you have done within the last year or 2 years when it comes to the troops?
Oh wow! I mean, our main focus is doing troops that do focus on charity or community groups. There are a lot of other garrisons that do a huge variety of events, but our main focus is really trying to get back. So I mean, we've worked with a variety of the children's charity for several years. We've continued to support them at Fan Expo with the sale of their Gold Heart pins, and so when you see all of the fans come in and just and share their passion for Star Wars, but at the same time really want to give back, it's a great opportunity to work with that organization and see the benefits of that, of how they help children in need. So even coming up very soon and over the course of the next month, we'll be attending the Variety Show of Hearts telethon, and so we'll be at the telethon presenting a big check to Variety for the funds that we've raised, right? So I would say they're one of the biggest ones. Going to Canuck Place and visiting the kids there has also been a big event for us, as well as supporting the Canuck Autism Network. We've been doing Walk for Autism as well too. I would say those, for me anyways, those are kind of like the three big memorable ones.
How about you, Katie?
Star Wars Reads Day is always one of my favorites, because you really get a chance to not only be in your costume and give back to the community, but it's about reading and making sure the kids are getting that kind of good, wholesome family entertainment from the Empire,
We will have to share. There's one of my favorite photos is of Katie
reading
and a bunch of people, a bunch of troopers at a Star Wars Reads at a library, I think. And it's such a hilarious picture. We'll share it on the Generation X Wing, on the social media, on the website and stuff. But the picture looks like there's all these Imperials standing in front of all these kids, and Katie's holding this book which has like rebels or a good guy, and the expression on her face is like, these are bad people.
I'm pretty sure that's what I said.
It's not, but I mean, it's just what the picture looks like. It's like, we are actually good guys, like the Empire's good, rebels bad.
That's
right?
actually how I read that whole book, was just completely like, these rebels, they're scum, but they got these droids, we're gonna find them. Yeah, it was so funny.
You're a mole.
I am, I really am.
Double agent, yeah.
That's funny. So what's some other memorable moments you remember, Katie, in the last while?
Oh, a Fan Expo this year was amazing. There were not only so many people at Fan Expo, but our booth was almost always packed with people. And that's the most members I have ever seen in one place, I think.
Yeah.
And other than Celebration, which is a totally different kettle of fish. But it was amazing to meet all the new people, to get some more people interested in joining, and then the Cantina Band was
that was all the bits all together just playing.
So funny.
And the running of the Wilrow Hoods.
I missed the running of the hoods.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, you must have just missed it because when I went to FenX, I saw you there.
Yeah.
But you must have just left then at that point.
I think I went up to the room as they were coming down from the room, and it just was a funny little mix-up. And then I went, "Wait, you guys are running?" And it was over.
Because I know Jamie was involved in that.
Yes.
And Anil tried to get involved in that, and I know there was another Steve was involved. So it's just a whole bunch of people just kind of running in their orange jumpsuits with an ice cream maker.
That's right.
Or a toaster. There was a toaster.
That's right. I think wasn't that Jamie's girlfriend?
Yes.
Yes. So lots of fun, and again, you were doing the pins, like you said, for
Variety.
Yep. Thank you. It's a lot of. Now you guys are completely nonprofit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do not take. There's no entry fee. There's no fees for helping approve the costume. There's no money involved when it comes to becoming a member of the 501st entry.
No.
All the investment is done into the armor and the costumes or whatever.
We do. I mean, we ourselves have a bit of internal costs in terms of like we have to get flyers printed or something like that, or we need supplies for a convention or something. But that's all generated internally, right? So we essentially are we pay for that ourselves out of our own pockets essentially. But all of the proceeds that we raise goes directly to whatever charity or community group that we're supporting.
And I remember one of the more recent ones you also did was at Toy Traders, helping the Shriners. We've done, again, I'm pushing that along. I didn't mean to push the Generation X-Wing podcast, but when we met Matthew Purdy, oh my God. When we met Matthew Purdy there, and he's heavily involved in the Shriners, everybody came there to take pictures and just pose with the stormtroopers, and it was great just seeing everybody so active and so enthralled with these people in armor. Yeah,
no, it was great. Matt Purdy from Tortures has been an awesome supporter of us. He's helped us out in so many ways. So we really enjoy doing events there, and Shriners is totally a worthwhile cause too. So it's been great.
How are you? How are we doing for distance there?
We're at about 10 minutes out.
10 minutes out. Yeah. Well, basically, this is we'll pause here for a sec, and then we'll come back. There will be video with this, and you need to go on the Generation X-Wing YouTube website for more information when it comes to the actual hunting of the fabric, what to look for, what I'm screwing up on, and because I guarantee you I am not going to be very good at this, but I do have very good guides when it comes to what to look for. Terry, you gave me a list. You gave me a long, detailed list of what I'm going to be looking for, not just today, but in general. And I think I'm very fortunate to have you along on this ride here because it is overwhelming, and we will share as much information as we can with everybody out there who needs the support. And you can always contact us at Generation X-Wing. You can always contact us through the Outer Rim Garrison, but you can also contact your local garrison as well, because as much support as we are here in BC, you might be in Texas, you might be in New Hampshire, you might be in England or Saudi Arabia or anything like that. Is there one in Saudi Arabia? I know there's one in the Middle East.
I'd have to look at the map.
So I don't even know if we have listeners in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Oh, hang on, we're focused here. We gotta take a right. We don't want Terry to get lost here. There we go. He drives like a stormtrooper shoots.
Like a maniac. Stay on target.
Stay on target. Stay on target. So, okay, we're going to cut it here, but we'll give you more information. But like I said, follow our YouTube page. We have a bunch of videos there, especially with Terry when we first meet Terry, and he shows off a lot of the armor that he brings to the show. And we also have another video of one of the armor parties that we visited, and just meeting all the people that were part of the garrison there, and them just working hard. There's great informational videos there, and more to come. This will not be somewhat of a weekly podcast. We'll try and get it out as often as we can. The goal is to get it done by Canada Day, which is July the 1st. That's the dream, that's the hope, that's what we're going to try and do. But we'll talk more information later. And
costumes are built on hope.
Costumes are built on hope. We got to end it right there. Perfect. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.